Hey everyone, Caleb with Antique Book Collective, and today I'm getting to you guys on a video that sort of piggybacks off of my last one about Goodwill outlets and how you can start a business just at Goodwill outlet. In this video, guys, it's start an eBay business at just estate sales. So guys, if you guys have everything stores, everything shops on eBay, let's see, if you go to an estate sale, that's everything someone owned over their life. What does an everything store sell? Everything that people buy over their life. That seems to match pretty well. Go figure. So guys, there can be a very, very good business model in just going to estate sales if you have an everything store, because you can buy everything at these estate sales. Oftentimes you can come in on the last hour or something like that and be like, hey, I'll clear you out. I'll give you $500 for everything you have, or I'll give you $100 for everything you have, because a lot of the times these businesses that do estate sales, they have to take all these things themselves and throw them in a dumpster and then empty out the dumpster themselves, and that's a lot of labor, that's a lot of time, that's a lot of expense. So you giving them $100 for everything could be a very good option for them to have an out and make some money. And if they're making some money, that definitely beats spending money, because guys, those roll-off bins that they have to fill, those dumpsters they have to fill, those can be expensive. The tipping fees, the service fees, all that sort of stuff, it stacks up. So if you can take care of all that, they will be very much happy. In addition to that, though, estate sales, they're not just for people that have everything stores. There are lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of other things that you guys can do if you specialize in certain things. Let's say you specialize in selling towels on eBay. I haven't seen a towel store on eBay just yet. I haven't looked for one, but let's say there's a shop that sells just textiles, towels, blankets, all that sort of stuff. You could have an entire business just going to estate sales, because there are plenty of estate sales that they sell barely used or unused towels. They sell barely used or unused blankets, quilts, all that sort of stuff. Things that people could definitely want, especially if you're giving it to them for a very good price. And yeah, a lot of people might not be interested in that. A lot of people might think it's nasty, but hey, it's an estate sale. It's actually probably a little bit cleaner than an actual Goodwill shop, so I'd be personally more inclined to buy from an estate sale than I would a Goodwill if I'm buying something like a towel, So that is my personal thoughts, but it could definitely be something worth doing. In addition to that, you have a lot of estate sales I go to. You have like the fine china, you have the fancy glassware, you have all the vases if you want to call it that way, but all the different plates, all those sorts of things. People that are getting a new home, they might not always have enough money to go out and buy these things brand new. So if you can sell them to people on eBay or elsewhere for a good price, they'll be more than happy to give you a few bucks for all of the cookware and silverware and all that sort of stuff. And for the fine china, for all the vases, whatnot, people are willing to buy those as well online. I have known of quite a few people that have entire businesses of just that. So that could be worth something doing. Or if you have an everything store, that could be a nice thing to include into your everything store. Pro tip, if you guys do that, I would personally recommend using, you can buy like craft paper, butcher paper, stuff like that. I would personally recommend leaning towards that side of things, as opposed to doing styrofoam, because styrofoam, guys, at least where I live, people don't necessarily like styrofoam in the Portland metro area because it's ruining the whole world. And in addition to that, guys, styrofoam is about as evil as saltine cracker wrappers. You get a piece of styrofoam on your hand, you try to take it off, it's on this hand now, and you can't get it off no matter what. And oftentimes when you're dealing with plates and whatnot, that styrofoam will also stick to the plates, and it sometimes doesn't come off in the dishwasher. Ask me why I know. It's because I've dealt with it. Styrofoam can be evil on how staticky it is. So butcher paper, that sort of stuff, will not have that issue. There may be a scratching issue potentially if you're dealing with really, really fine china, so figure out your own thing for fine china. I don't sell that, but it definitely could be something worth doing, worth checking out. Another pro tip, if you guys are doing that, give your things wiggle room, but pack them in very well. So you don't want your plate, let's say your box is this big, you don't want your plate butted up against the sides of the box, because if anything hits it, the plate might shatter. So make sure you have some wiggle room for in case the box gets hit or dropped or thrown off an airplane, because I'm sure that happens all the stinking time with some of the stories that I've heard about how bad things can arrive after being shipped. But that is something that you guys can definitely think about. So in addition to all of that, going off of the china side of things, actually, I've seen a lot of like ceramic dolls, ceramic figurines, all that sort of things that people like collecting. Especially, I find boomers are especially inclined to collect these things. Something I think is the most interesting thing is how many older people like to collect things about ducks. Don't ask me why, but ducks seems to be a very interesting thing that people like collecting stuff of. I personally think ducks are Satan's spawn. They are evil, they are mean, and they quack and poop a lot, but some people like ducks, I guess. But that could be something worth looking into. You can find all these different figurines. It's like, okay, it's not something I'm interested in, but I know people are interested in these things. For me personally, I specialize in old books, antique books, all that sort of things. So a lot of estate sales are where I get most of my books, because these books are generally in pretty good shape. They may not be in as great of shape as like a specialized library where they are good at like actually preserving these books long term, because a lot of these places, they've raised up families in these places. They've had generations of people read these books. So generally I have some scribbling in these books, or I have pages falling out, that sort of thing, because these books have been loved a whole lot more than the ones that are in those special libraries. But they still can be worth a good amount of money. There still is a lot of money for me to make off of these things, and generally a lot of these estate sale companies, they don't see the value in books, so I'm able to get a bunch of them for a pretty good price. And in addition to that, a lot of places will give me a good price on them because they don't want to move all of these books, because guys, let's face it, books are heavier than everything. It's insane. I've had so many times, guys, that I have actually dropped off books at the post office, or I do Office Depot sometimes too for the drop-offs, and they're like, what's in here, bricks? And I'm like, no, just books. They're like, oh, close enough. I'm like, yeah, they are pretty heavy, but that's something that you guys can do. And bed frames, car stuff, tools, guys, tools out of the wazoo. People love buying used tools because you could get such a good deal. If you guys are doing used tools, it might be worth looking for the more popular brands that have the cult-like following, if you will. So guys, these cult-like followings will be like with Craftsman. There are so many people that love Craftsman, burning passion for Craftsman. Other people, it's Snap-on. No one will do anything except for Snap-on. Those Snap-on people, I'd like to hate on them and say that they're excessive, but if you guys have ever used a Snap-on tool, you would realize it's worth the cult-like following. They're expensive as everything, but they are some of the best tools out there. So that is something that you guys can definitely look into if you guys are doing all these different shops. Generally, I do not find many Snap-on tools, but I find quite a few Craftsman tools. But yeah, you can have an entire shop just selling used tools. Or potentially, I haven't done this, I haven't seen anyone that does this, but potentially you could do like a tool bag of just all the different tools that a professional homeowner, if you will, or just a normal homeowner might need. I'm talking a flathead screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, a hammer, like all the different things that you will need in a day-to-day life, but might not know where to shop for them. It could be cool to do a sort of a bag like that. I don't know what you could sell for that for, but it could be something that people would look for. I don't really know, but that is something that you could do. There are quite a few other things though that you guys can sell at estate sales. I mean, you have all the furniture of someone's life. You can have an entire furniture business. I've spoken to people that have furniture businesses where they buy them used and they flip them. They have like huge groups, huge warehouses where they just have all the different furniture. There are so many things that you guys can do, possibly should do, depending on what you want to do. But with that said, guys, if you are looking into starting a business, I would highly recommend thinking about an eBay business. It's incredibly easy to do, and in addition to that, you can sell what you want to sell and not have to deal with having a storefront and not having to deal with customers coming in and slapping you in the face for doing something wrong, because you're doing it over the interweb. No one's going to slap you. You're safe from being slapped. You might get bad reviews, might have to issue some refunds, but you're not going to get slapped in the face. So, I mean, that's a little bit of a protection right there. But with all that said and done, though, guys, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, I actually have a couple other videos for you guys to check out. One of them's on estate sales. But in addition to that, please be sure to hit subscribe. It really helps my channel. I'll see you guys in the next one.